I'm spending my whole weekend in my pajamas. The whole thing for me is I'm trying to save you time, money, and energy. I have got a PhD in life. So, like, what do I care what some random person on the internet thinks of me? In New Year, new me, you gotta have some fun. God, Tim, everything you touch just, like, is amazing. And I want to tell that person, no, it's not. I'm only trying to make one person happy, and that's Tim Castleman. No time to spare, no time to waste. On this edition of Tim Talks, we get right into it. If you listened to our last episode, our first night in Cuba, first day in Cuba, we got long-roaded by some hobo people. We met a guy who lives next to the president of Cuba. No shit. We smoked cigars. We got told to get the fuck out of a cigar factory. Then security told us to get the fuck out of the cigar factory. Did I mention the second we left that cigar factory, we ran into two tour guys that were like, look, if you want to take a tour, here's my information. You need anything in Cuba, I'm your man. And that's what every person will tell you. You need anything in Cuba, I can get it for you. Because they know people that can. Because in Cuba, they have the regular market, okay? Which is like, hey, I go to the market, I spend my 4 hours in line, I get my shit, I pay for it, I go out there. Then you got the gray market, which is, hey, this is the same shit that's in stores, but you don't have to wait all that. It's a little bit more money. Don't ask so much where it comes from. And then there's the black market, which is just like, hey, I'm a private seller, and I'm selling this shit for a markup that I either brought into the country, had brought into the country, stole some, I don't know. Again, I'm not there. I wasn't there to do a socio-economic study. But as you'll remember from the last episode, if you didn't go back and listen to it, because it's one for the history books, according to my mama. We met a guy at our second stop, the Hotel Nacional, during the 5-minute lighting of the cigar ritual. He came over to us afterwards and said, hey, I'm a taxi guy. You like taxis? Let me show you my pretty car. Then he shows me on his nice phone. He goes, hey, look at all these car photos. Cigars, 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 and more cigars. Then we have them validate through our English to Cuban to English translator, right? English to Cuban to hustler translator. And our boy Robert goes, hey, man, I think he's legit. So we set it up. Now, I sleep like a rock in Cuba, probably because I can't understand anything that's on the TV. I don't even turn it on. The internet's terrible. There's no distractions. There's nothing. I mean, I'm early to bed, late to rise in Cuba. I like to knock out a solid 10 to 12, especially the first day, especially because I didn't sleep. My REM cycle was all screwed up. So I slept a good amount. Woke up in the afternoon. Go out. Where's Chase? Have the federales already come to kidnap him? Already? What happened? So I sent him a text. Hey, dude, what's up? Oh, yeah, man, I got up and I went to breakfast. Now, Chase and I live in the same town. We keep the same hours practically, maybe a little different. We have similar lives and similar interests. That's why we're on a trip together, right? That's why I decided, hey, you know what? I could go to anybody with anybody in the communist country, but I choose you because we're alike in so many ways. And one of the ways that we're alike is that we both need food to survive. But for the entire trip, my buddy Chase apparently thought I could live without breakfast. Because never once did I get the invite. I take that back. I think one day he did give me the invite. But that was towards the end of the trip. The first couple days, he was like, hey, whether you want to or not, you're going to be fasting. At least in the morning hours. Because you ain't going to breakfast with me. Now, we have a problem. See? Because by doing this, there's only one set of keys to the apartment. And the apartment has four different locks that you have to get in. There's a door lock on the outside door. There's a door lock to get in to even unlock your door. Then there's that door lock. Then there's a combination lock. Then there's a deadbolt lock. I shit you not. You could put me in the Matrix after the week I spent in Cuba, and I could unlock those doors in the blindness, in the dark. CIA needs someone to open up doors with a key, with no concern for their own safety at the slowest rate possible. I'm your man. Hook me up. $125 to start. Which takes us to a quick side story. Shortly before I left, brewery here in Lubbock, Texas called Two Docks Brewery. Great place, I'm sure. Seems pleasant. Seems to be a place that sells and slings beer. Well, they got one beer slinger, as they say it, and he's tired of working 12-hour shifts, so they need another beer slinger. They want to hire somebody. And their whole thing was, listen, we're looking to hire beer slingers. And if you would be so kind as to submit your resume for the position, we'll consider you for employment. And then I ask, like anybody with a fucking brain would, I'm sorry, did you say you need a resume to be able to sling beers? And they responded back in a cute way of, no, we just need a piece of paper with your name, your address, couple, right? They thought, chuckle, chuckle, fun, fun. They tried to out-petty me, and that's one thing you're not going to do. You're not going to out-petty me. I'll be more petty. So while we're there in Cuba, I think, oh, shit, now's a perfect time to send in that resume. So I set up the camera, I take a beer, and I pour it into a cup. And when I say it had the minimal amount of head, it went up to the line perfect, and it tasted and looked delicious, I'm not lying. Granted, I don't have a resume or experience in the beer industry, but I would have given that pour 4.5 out of 5 stars. And that was just a warm-up pour, by the way. That's off the bench, right? We didn't even get practice in. We didn't know today was a show day. We got called out from the bullpen, no warm-up, and they said, Shooter, you gotta, get us out of this inning. You gotta throw a strike and get this dude out. And we do it. And then at the end of the video, my head pops in. And I let them know, hey, guys, Tim Castleman here. Here's my resume. Just want to let you know I am available for your employment. My starting salary, $125,000. Because if you want to be petty, I can be petty. Have your people call my people. Now, I'm sad to say, maybe it's because I was in Cuba and, I didn't have my original SIM card in there and all that stuff. I'm sad to say I've yet to receive a call. It may warrant a follow-up video where I'm like, hey, guys, I must have made it to the advanced round. Here's another. Let me show how I can pour 2 beers in a row. Oh, my. Oh, my. So Chase makes his way back to the apartment. Then we go out, we find some food, we hang around, we check out a few more cigar places. We go to a beautiful, brand new built hotel. We're about ready to order lunch, and they go, oh, I'm sorry. No money allowed. And we're like, I'm sorry. Hold on. Listen, I understand there's a language barrier here, but I have money. You, like tapping her on the shoulder, right? High up with her approval, because I'm not trying to get me too'd in Cuba and thrown in a communist prison. Thank you. No, thank you. I see what you feed the tourists there. I hate to see if there's anything that you would feed the locals in the prison, right? I hate to see what that would be. Here's your half thing of rice. I'd come out, I would come out with 8-pack abs. Mostly from starvation and having to fend off all the prisoners because my blood sugar level was so high. They're like, if we use his blood for cooking, it'll make everything taste sweeter, right? So if I'm fending them off, I got 8-pack abs. Something to think about. Maybe next time I will. Maybe next time I'll just be like, fuck it. Take me to jail. Like, you've done nothing wrong, sir. Be like, freedom. Freedom shall set me free. Be like, sir, you're free to go right now. Be like, I know. Freedom's coming. Sleep tight knowing your day of reckoning is upon you. And they're like, you've literally done nothing, sir. We don't even understand what you're saying. But what I didn't understand was that hotel, they only took the fancy credit card, which we didn't want to get because, I'm not trying to build my credit score in Havana, Cuba. I'm not trying to qualify for a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home there or a 1999 Geo Tracker for $22,000 American. While we were there, by the way, they finally approved the ability to import Teslas onto Cuba, which should be interesting, considering that power's at a minimum there. So when you go in to plug in your Tesla and the whole grid shuts down, might be an issue. We go to another La Casa de Habano, this one, in another hotel, beautiful thing. But they go, you cannot film in here. And we're like, what? They're like, yeah, you can't film in here. And I'm literally holding the camera with the lens on. I'm like, could you say that one more time into the camera? Because that's going to be a jump cut because I'm a fucking influencer. I told you, bitches, I took YouTube video. I took video that will wind up on YouTube. Jump cuts. I'm doing it all in my head. Not doing any of it actually because God forbid I actually do the work on that. No. No, gracias. So really all day 2 is just, for me, it's like, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. All I care about is our 6:30 p.m. appointment. So we go back to the Hotel Nacional. We meet with the cigar man and his driver, and he reiterates, hey, amigos, remember, there is no cost for this. You can smoke as many cigars as you'd like, and you can come back. We will not charge you for anything. And I'm like, well, we're either going to have the time of our life or we're going to get murdered. Not really sure what, but murdered seems like a less of possibility. So he drives us around, or has his driver and him drive us around. Our boy came with him because I was like, dude, if you say he's legit, that's awesome, Robert, but you're coming with me. That way you can communicate into Cuban why these guys felt a necessity to, chop off our heads and feed us to the chickens. So he's stuck up front, and they're talking Spanish. And again, I don't speak it. And my buddy Chase apparently is not, doing the lip reading portion or the, when you fucking hear something and you recognize it, whatever that is, awareness, right? Yeah. He's not doing those drills with these people. He's just zoned the fuck out. So for all I know, right? I mean, I've been in the country less than a little over 24 hours at this point, and I'm imagining that the dude I met the last time is co-conspiring with this new guy, and we're gonna be out in some fucking tobacco field tied to 2 husks as our bodies are beaten like the last scene in Casino with Joe Pesci and his brother. It turns out it was slightly better than that. He drives us around. He shows us the island. He shows us this neighborhood, that neighborhood. And, we're going through some really nice neighborhoods that are only getting nicer and nicer and nicer. And I'd say after about a 30-minute ride, he goes, all right, listen, it's fine that you've been taking photos and all that. That's great. That's awesome. I love it. But we are coming up to a restricted area. The president lives nearby. And so do a lot of his military aides and, people and all that. So I'm going to ask you, please, no photos at this part. I'll tell you when. And no gestures with your right hands. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. I can totally understand that. So he drives us around another couple blocks, and I'm texting Robert, you okay? Is this still legit? Do you need to, my safe word is pineapple? Like, what do we need to, are we okay? Do we need to stop, drop, and roll when we get a chance? He drives us around another block, and he stops at a security desk. And the guy walks out to him, and he goes, hey, Francisco Rodrigo, I don't remember his name. Good to see you. These are my 2 friends from America. I'm just taking him to the house. There we go. And the guy goes, yeah, you have to go the long way today. He's like, that's fine. He goes, well, see, the house I normally go, or the way I normally go through, it drives right in front of the president's house. But he is in residence tonight, apparently. So they've shut that off for access. So we have to take a little bit of a long road. And I'm like, the president of who? He's like, Cuba, like the leader of the not-so-free world here in Cuba. And I was like, oh, okay. So he takes us to this beautiful home. We get out. I immediately grab Robert. I'm like, hey, there's fucking chickens and people we don't know here. Are we about to become food? He's like, it's fine. It's fine. Relax, Tim. This is Cuba. Everything is good. And he tells me, Tim, you have nothing to worry about. This guy is legit. Even I have never been to this part of Havana. Just a quick refresher. Robert was a translator for the government for English. And he himself had never been to this part of Havana. So we're like, oh shit, we're walking in with Fidel Castro Jr. here. This is great. Now, it's about 80 degrees outside, 91% humidity. Okay, not an issue. We walk in, they go, would you like some coffee? And I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? No, yes, I'd love some, because I don't want to be rude. So my friend has some. Then they bring us some water, and they don't bring it. His 2 little daughters bring it to us. Would you like ice? See, Then they go out, I don't know where the fucking ice comes from, but it appears. They put it in the drinks. It's great. We sit, we bullshit for a minute. We meet his beautiful wife. She prepares a little plate of goodies for us to enjoy. And then he goes, let's get down to business. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I roll up my sleeves. I'm like, we getting matching tattoos? Are we doing a blood oath? What is it that's going to seal this deal? And he's like, no, we just go into this room here. And I'm like, okay. So we go into your murder closet and this is where we disappear. Nope, just a bedroom. And he shows me those boxes. He goes, now, Tim, I will tell you, these are bullshit. I keep them for tourists who want cheap fake Cuban cigars. You would not like these. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I am a man of extinguished talent and taste. You're right. I would not want these cheap ones. And he goes, but this. And he feasted his eyes over a homemade humidor that had several hundred cigars in them, all unbanded. And he tells us a story again. Listen. My father was in the government. I live in his house now that he's passed on. I still have a lot of those connections. One of them happens to be at the Cohiba factory. I buy the cigars from the rollers. And we find out at a tour later, according to the tour guide, that the Cubans do get a certain amount of free cigars every Friday, if they meet their quotas all week. They get like up to 25 cigars, that guy was saying. I think that number's too high, but again, I don't live in the country. He gives the tour for a living. I should probably learn to trust other people, eh? So he shows us these cigars, and he goes, oh, let me show you some other things. Then he gets out the WhatsApp, the thing we've been communicating on back and forth. And he shows us person after person after person that's bought from him and has stayed in contact. We're treated to photos. We're treated to videos. We're treated to a whole slideshow of people. This guy bought 500. This guy bought 1,000. This guy did this. This guy did that. But don't worry. You pick any cigar you want here. We'll go outside. We'll smoke it. We'll connect and chat. And we'll go from there. And that's exactly what we do. We go outside. They pull up seats for us. The daughters bring us more water and a bottle of rum to enjoy. Day turns into night. Before it does, his daughter comes out with a handmade drawing for each of us. And that's when my balls start to tingle a little because I'm like, wait a minute. We met this guy. He lives by the president. That's a legit. I saw the guy. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the most important part of that. We passed by the president's house. I throw up the old, hey, how you doing with my right hand, as my friend Chase reminds me that, that's grounds to be shot. So I'm like, well, fuck. Luckily, I returned with all of my extremities and appendages. Thank you. He's shown us testimonial videos. We met his family. He admitted that these cigars were fake over there, but these ones were real. He has a plausible story backed up by where he lives. His daughters, so sweet, so innocent, so cute. Would you like some coffee? Would you like some water? Here's a drawing I made for you. Here's all the people that bought from me beforehand. Do you know what's important to me? As he told us over and over and over again, my family, my peace of mind, and my word. No bullshit. No bullshit. So when we get the pictures, it's pretty clear that the offer was made to show up, smoke his cigars, drink his rum, leave his house, and not pay $1. But there's just no way in hell that's happening. Because, one, I've got the story I get to share with you, and two, you would feel like such an asshole to have the experience that we did and not leave money for them. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. YOLO. If we could get a box for like $400, maybe we do that. I want to put that in perspective. Ivan the Terrible brought us a bundle of 25 cigars that were $100. I was prepared to offer $300 more for what essentially could have been the same exact fucking cigar. There's a marketing and sales lesson there about the story, about the experience, about everything I've shared with you, and why it made me, why I would never do that with a homeless bum, why I would never probably do that with Ivan, right? Although I would after a couple more visits, but I was willing to do that. So I go, hey man, what would $400 get us? And then he goes, well, that gets you like 15 cigars. And we go, uh-oh. Now, see, again, I was paying $4 per cigar from Ivan that were long-filled Cuban cigars that were good. Not great, not bad, but $4. As long as I'm not pulling out a string out of it, I'm pretty okay with it at that price point. So, yeah, we realize that he's not going to budge. The price is the price, my friend. He doesn't say it. He doesn't have to because he doesn't negotiate. And we go, you know what? How about this? We're going to buy $200 worth of cigars from you. 10 cigars. Not a big fish, not a small fish. I don't know. It's respectable. Just a quick reminder, the average wage in Cuba for a lot of people is like, $150 a month. We're offering them $200. These cigars probably cost him $2, $3 a piece at max. And we're a small order. Because I know we are, because I saw his other people who had bought, purchased, and enjoyed the cigars the same way. So we pay the $200, we get our cigars, we say goodbye to the family. I go out of the way to thank his wife. Hey, thank you so much for coming, letting us come into your house and letting your husband run the sales scam on us that he probably does multiple times a day. And you guys just reset all the time and just, count your hundreds of thousands of dollars that you probably make a year doing this in U.S. money that's not traceable in terms of, I'm not running a card here. I didn't get a receipt. Foreshadowing, by the way. So we go out to celebrate at the world's greatest pizza restaurant. I can't remember what the name of it was. No, we didn't. That was another night. The next night we go out to the world's greatest pizza restaurant. This night we go out to a seafood place. It's amazing. The food there, super good, super high quality, and super fucking cheap. Super good, super high quality, super fucking cheap compared to American prices. I'm eating lobster there for $17. Huge lobster. $17 American. Here, $54 to get the surf without the turf. Now, it's not like they had their selection of steaks. It's like, you want a hamburger? You want pizza? You want pasta? You want seafood? You want a Cuban sandwich? You want some French fries? You want this weird thing that tastes like potatoes but aren't? I can't remember the name of it because I don't speak the language. So our days and adventures continue. Chase goes skiing or scuba diving. Skiing, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, he goes up into the Alps of Cuba and goes skiing. He goes scuba diving. Said it wasn't bad, but it wasn't remarkable. It's kind of what he expected, right? I find a little school to do a little test run, and I bring Google Translate with me, and I'm like, hi, I'm Tim. I'm from America. I would like to donate these school supplies. I got pencils, I got pens, I got all this other shit, right? And they're like, come on in, Tim. We're happy to have you here. Thank you so much for the supplies. We'll take all of them. We'll say muchas gracias, thank you. And then I'll go, that's awesome. Hey, listen, on my way out, do you think I could just walk around the campus? Or just, there's a square, basically. They have a school in one part of the square. It's one long building. Imagine it's rectangle. I just wanted to walk the interior of the rectangle. And they were like, no, you can get the fuck out. And I was like, all right, well, hey, thanks so much for not throwing me in jail. Then I got to go back to the Airbnb because, again, we got one set of keys and Chase needs to take a shower. So he takes a shower, does all that good stuff, right? We have a great time. He's like, hey, you want to go find a place to eat that's around here that's not the regular place? Yeah, let's go. So we find this place. Let me look at the photos real quick. Did we not get a photo? Well, yeah, we did. There we go. Sorry. Okay. This place, Pazillo. It's like 3 blocks from where we are. We walk in there. Beautiful waitress sits us down. It's happy hour. We got drink specials. You want some watermelon punch? Yeah, sure. I'd like my ass to just spray out the Mississippi mud butt for 24 hours continuously by having this probably, untreated watermelon juice. It was fucking delicious. Can I get another pina colada? Can I try your pina colada? Can I try a mojito? Can we have the time of our lives? And we're asking her some questions. We're getting some food. Everything's going great. We order food with her and she goes, great, that's awesome, right? And we're waiting on our food and my buddy starts looking around and he's like, hey, man, you notice something about this bar? And I'm like, I mean, they got TVs, they got several bar areas. Looks like they do a dance thing. It's cool. They got that background over there with all those beautiful colors on it. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice place. And he's like, anything else stand out to you? I'm looking around. And I look over to the waitress because I'm like, well, maybe I'm just a stupid American. Maybe she can help explain it. And she's gone. And in place of our waitress was like a 5'4" muscular Cuban man wearing an extra small shirt. And I'm like, that's interesting. So I'm going right to left. I look over at the table and I see a group of 4 friends hanging out, laughing, drinking, smoking cigarettes. I mean, they're all dudes, but who doesn't get together at a bar for some beer with some friends? I keep looking left and I see two other men who are more than friends, judging by their hand placements and how they were trying to choke each other out with their Adam's apples. So bad. And I'm like, right? The light bulb slowly starts to light up. Tink, tink, tink. It pops up and you're like, oh, shit. I was like, dude, I think we may be at a schmee bar. And he's like, what? I was like, a schmee bar. And he's like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, well, I mean, that explains why the drinks are fabulous and the food is amazing. And we had no problem. We sat there, we smoked our cigar, paid our tab, and we said, thank you. Thank you so much. And then Chase was like, I got to get the gay off me. And I was like, what? He's like, no, there's another place we're going to go. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not really thinking that you have the best pick'em right now, but sure, let's go to it. And we go to this other place, and it's beautiful. It's on the top floor. You have to walk up 3 flights of stairs, 2 flights probably. I don't know. I was wheezing by the time we got to the top. And you're like, oh, thank God. It's 84 degrees, 91% humidity. We're going to get to the top floor of this 3-floor building, and it's going to be super cool. I just know it because they're going to have their fans or they don't have their fans on currently. Right. But that's okay because they'll probably close the door and you don't have AC either. All right, so we're just going to sit. Oh, and then it's like, you want to go sit outside? And I'm like, sure, I need to finish cooking. I feel a little uneven. I feel like the back that was just exposed by us walking the half mile here, I need to now cook the front of me so I have a nice based coat and texture. So we sit outside, ordering drinks by the minute, trying to see if I'm going to pass out from alcohol poisoning or dehydration, don't know, or just combust because of the combination of the humidity and you get what I'm saying? Then that night, we go out to the best pizza place in town. And then we go on, we keep having some great and fun experiences, which I'll drop in. But I know a lot of you are waiting for, and I can't wait to share with you, the Giving Day. So I will do that in just a second, but I remembered one other thing that was really cool. I met a YouTuber while I was there. I told you, bitches, I'm an influencer now. I took hours upon hours of video. This guy lives in Cuba. During the pandemic, he thought, hey, what if I start filming my everyday life here in Cuba? And he's got several videos that he showed me, like several dozen videos. But he's got over 12 videos that each have gone over 1 million views apiece, which I thought was really, really interesting. And what I enjoyed meeting about him is how open and honest he was, how he wanted to practice Spanish with Chase, which I thought was really cool. And he does everything off his phone. I'm like, yeah, okay, so you take video with he's like, my phone. I was like, all right, cool. So then you offload it to your thing, and then you edit it. He goes, nope, I have an app. I use InShot, I think it is, on his phone. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, but you do voiceovers on your video. How do you do that? He goes, I just hook up a mic. I was like, to your phone? He's like, yes. And I was like, holy shit. You can really do that, huh? I mean, here's a guy that's got, millions and millions of views, and he just uses his phone to do everything. So that was really cool and really inspired me to take a bunch of video, which I still haven't edited yet because I'm still trying to convince myself to edit on the phone. So now we go to Giving Day. I wake up. It's the Monday before we leave, right? Monday, we leave on Tuesday. I wake up and I got an idea. So many parts of this trip keep coming back to me that are hilarious. See, like, I can't let this go. The next night, after pizza night, we go out to a bar, to a VIP club type bar. We go in, they go, hey, listen, you can go up to the top floor and smoke. So we go up there. There's no AC. There's no windows. It's for cigarettes only, basically. And their whole thing is smoke and then get the hell downstairs where you can spend more money. So we walk back into the air-conditioned Nirvana, which is the bar, and we go, hey, how you doing? We'd like to sit here and drink. And they go, that's what we do here, sweetheart. Welcome to the club. We're like, fantastic. We're like, well, we'd like to get a bottle of something. And she goes, well, you can get a bottle of this rum that's actually really good for like, I don't know, $28. And we're like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And some Cokes to go with it and all that stuff. So for $28, we got bottle service. I mean, she brought the little flashy light over. We got the dance. And halfway through, I'm like, please stop embarrassing me with this. It's $28. That's a $10,000 minimum in Vegas for them to even give a shit enough to flash the lights or do the sparklers or anything like that. Here, we just bought some Southern Comfort. Oh, I'm adjusting. I'm leaning in here. We go out. We have a great time. We meet some random people there. A couple from Houston. They were girlfriends, not like the gay bar girlfriends, just like girlfriends. One was a social media coordinator. The other was something with the government. She's got a boyfriend. They were there just having a good time. And what can I say? A couple drinks in. Tim Castleman, the comedian, comes out. And I'm not trying to suck my own D here, right? I'm not here trying to S my own D here, but those ladies were rolling laughing. Rolling laughing. Ha ha, he he, belly laughs. Are you a comedian? You making my tummy hurt. My cheeks hurt from smiling. This, that, and the other thing. We have such a good time while I'm on stage performing for these ladies. Chase Powell has instituted a 1 bottle, 1 night, 1 kill policy. Unbeknownst to me, we got to finish this bottle of rum. And by we, I mean he. And then we got to walk home. Or maybe we took an Uber. Their version of Uber, La Nava. Download the app. And that night was a bad night for one of us, not me.